Hello everyone, welcome back again to Liverpool Report today. We've got the latest updates on our beloved club Liverpool, but before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of Liverpool Report news. Let's get started. Liverpool's Szoboszlai and Alexis McAllister gave varied responses when quizzed on their experiences under new boss Arneslot compared to Jurgen Klopp. With Klopp having bid farewell at the end of the previous season, many a Red supporter braced for what might come next. However, Slot has slipped into the managerial hot seat with remarkable ease. Filling the German's significant boots, Slot is now a single point away from an inevitable Premier League title, and has already steered his men to a League Cup final appearance. While a shift in tactical approach is evident, the club's midfield maestros have offered differing insights into the transition from Klopp to Slot. Hungarian star Szoboszlai remained tight-lipped and cautious about comparing the two managers, whereas McAllister was more forthcoming about the freshness that has grown under Slot's stewardship. "I don't compare them with each other," Szoboszlai stated to Sky Sports regarding Slot and Klopp. "They are both unbelievable managers. Jurgen had a different style of playing football than the manager has now. So, that's why football is beautiful. Everybody is different. Probably all the coaches in the whole world are working on something different than the others. I never compare my coaches between each other." Meanwhile, McAllister, speaking with La Media Inglesa, pointed out a fundamental change in Liverpool's tactical approach since Klopp's departure and the arrival of Slot, the Dutchman praised for refreshing the team's style. "I think the main difference is that before we were a very, very direct team, and today we're a team where we try to be a little more patient and a little more possessive," McAllister said. "With the quality of the players we have, with the physical capacity of the players we have, having possession and at times being able to rest with the ball has helped us a lot to be more fresh." McAllister, who was far more willing to indulge the changes than Szoboszlai, identified this pivot towards a possession-oriented system as the key shift in tactics under Slot, differentiating it from Klopp's transition-based approach. Moreover, Slot himself shared insights into his approach during a Sky Sports interview, highlighting how his setup is utilised and how it differs from Klopp's heavy transitions, reports the Liverpool Echo. "I think it's also about if you had to run a lot to recover the ball, to get the ball back, and then if you lose it, immediately afterwards, I see players from my team with their head down thinking, we have to defend again, we have to run again," Slot stated. "But the other team gets a lot of confidence because they immediately have the ball back again. So, it's not only this extra pass that maybe gives you a better rest defence. Football is also a mental game. And if you have the ball a lot, you feel more comfortable, you feel better. So, yeah, if this pass after transition immediately leads to a chance, and the fans are loud, that also gives you the right energy, mental energy. But if you pick out a difficult ball without, so a lot of risk, without a lot of reward, if it finds your teammate, then I think another choice would have been better." Michael Owen admits Ryan Gravenberch got lucky that Liverpool missed out on Martin Zubimendi, with the Dutch midfielder able to make the midfield slot his own. He has been among the most improved performers as the Reds have charged towards the Premier League title. Gravenberch was signed in Jurgen Klopp's final summer, joining from Bayern Munich, but the Dutchman was unable to become a regular during his debut season. This year, though, under Arne Slot, the 22-year-old has been a huge hit alongside the likes of Szoboszlai, Alexis McAllister and curtisjones. Liverpool made no major signings in the summer, but their pursuit of Zubimendi was well documented. The midfielder had just starred for Spain during their Euro 2024 success and was also a standout performer with Real Sociedad. The La Liga outfit were ultimately able to retain their player, despite interest from Liverpool and Arsenal. It meant that Gravenberch remained a regular, with Zubimendi's potential arrival likely limiting his game time, but he's more than taken his chance. Owen said, "From Gravenberch's point of view, you could say he's got lucky, but he's also grasped his chance. If Zubimendi signed, you have got no doubts, they still would have won the league, and it would have been a great signing, I guess. I do think, when you get a group, a collective of good characters and players, the ones who necessarily all get swept along. It shows all the time at every club. If you've got a bad team, a bad set of characters, or a bad group, I don't care who you sign. They will turn average as well if the crux of the squad is not a good one. I believe whoever you bring to Liverpool, they'll fall into line. If you go back to when Jurgen Klopp first joined, there were so many average players, but there was a group of them that led the way. People like James Milner and Jordan Henderson were never world class. There were so many players who you'd say they are never going to reach these heights, but when you get that good group and leadership, then it sweeps the whole lot. Liverpool have got that. Everyone says, what's wrong with Manchester United? That's the opposite. There are a lot of good players there, but they can't do it. Gary Neville is among those to praise the way in which Slot has got the most out of the players he inherited. Gravenberch wasn't tipped to make such an impact, but his potential, which was evident in his Ajax days, has been unlocked by the Reds' boss. He confessed that Zubimendi was on their radar, but claimed Gravenberch had all the same qualities. Slot said, "The player we wanted to bring in Zubimendi. I think that's pretty much out in the open." Now he was also a player who was really comfortable. He's still a player who could bring the ball from the last line to our forwards. This is a special quality Ryan has, the ability to turn away from his man. Liverpool fans are convinced that Trent Alexander-Arnold is set to stay at Anfield after Mohamed Salah's selfie gesture. The Egyptian forward has developed a habit throughout the current campaign of sharing a photo with Reds goalscorers in the dressing room, and he has shared those selfies on social media shortly after wins. But there was a notable omission over recent weeks after Salah failed to take or share a picture with Alexander-Arnold after his winning goal against Leicester at the King Power Stadium, a victory that edged Arneslot's side closer to the Premier League title. 3 days after the game, Salah has finally given fans the photo that they were waiting for. He shared a photo of him grinning alongside Alexander-Arnold seemingly at Liverpool's training ground. Some Reds fans are now sure that the defender is set to pen a new contract on Merseyside. One supporter said, "So it took you 3 days to upload the photo. Does it mean that Trent AA has extended his contract for 3 more years?" With another adding, "Looks like Trent changed his mind." A final optimistic Liverpool fan said, "This picture just gave me so much hope." But not everyone is particularly convinced. A more pessimistic fan wrote his last Salah selfie alongside a heartbreak emoji. Away from Salah, another of Alexander-Arnold's Liverpool teammates has also shared his view. Virgil-van-Dijk insists that neither he nor the rest of the squad have put any pressure on the academy graduate. "I think we forget that we are dealing with a human being," Van Dijk said. "Sometimes he goes through so many moments in the last couple of months and everyone will have an opinion on the way he's obviously been. There's a lot of noise around him and obviously everyone can argue if it's his own fault, but it's just part of life nowadays." He added, "I think he was under a lot of pressure already, so there's no point for me to put him on the spot." And Alexander-Arnold himself refused to comment on his future after the win at Leicester. "Look, I've said all season that I'm not going to speak on my situation," he told Sky Sports. "I'm not going to go into any details, but days like today are very special. Scoring goals, playing, winning games, being in title races, they are special moments that will live with me forever, and I'm glad to be a part of them."